jalapeno popper. That good? Oh yeah. All right, I'm gonna make some bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers. And so these are kind of large, so I'm actually gonna see if we can get 2 poppers out of each one of these. And I'm gonna try to be careful. I'm just gonna go right into it, cutting off the ends and seeing how much of this I can pull out with this. I was trying to pull out the seeds and everything, but that's okay. I'm gonna cut these in half. I think I'm gonna do 2 poppers per jalapeno if I can. So I'm cutting them in half, and I'm gonna leave them whole because now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a knife and I'm gonna try to get out these seeds. But a lot of people think it's just the seeds that make the jalapenos so hot. It's also those veins in there. I think even more so the veins that are running. So depending on how spicy you want your jalapeno poppers, you know, go more aggressive against the vein that's in there or not. But I'm gonna try to pull this out, and I'm gonna try to get my kids to eat a couple of these, so I'm gonna make them a little less spicy. So anyway, I'm gonna try to tear out some of this vein a little bit more, just so my kids maybe will eat it. One of my kids likes things spicy, the other one does not. And then the other 3 do not. Well, one of them's a baby, she's not gonna eat these. But anyway, I'm gonna try to get a lot of the vein out, and that's pretty good. So now I'm gonna go for this one, which will be easier because it's hollow, so I can go straight through. And I'm actually stabbing through the vein, and I'm just gonna pop it out of there. And you can, I don't know if you can see or not, kind of the vein that's left on there. I'm just gonna go around here. Now I'm just using a butter knife, and it's working just fine. Doesn't have to be anything real sharp, it just has to be something with a little bit of ridges in there to kind of get away that vein. That one looks pretty good. Then we'll just repeat the process. All right, got that done. Made a little bit of a mess. That won't be too bad to clean up. Now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go and we're gonna put these on the smoker just like this. We're gonna pre-smoke this so we get that smoky flavor on the inside and outside and everywhere. And we're also going to smoke our cream cheese at the same time. And so I'm gonna put a little bit of seasoning on this in a second, and we'll put all this out in the smoker all together. Then we'll come back in and we're gonna cut these in half. Okay, we're gonna cut them in half, wrap them in bacon, and then we'll put them back on the smoker. But there's gotta be some more ingredients that are gonna go into this cream cheese before we do that. So here we go. All right, we're gonna take our cream cheese out. Usually when you smoke cream cheese, you wanna do it on a lower smoke setting, if not just the smoke setting maybe. And you want to put it in a tray with ice, and you'll have it in its own little pan. I'm not going to do that because I have ribs in there right now, and I'm not going to change the temperature. It's actually set to 275. So in all reality, we're not going to get too much of a smoke flavor in here. We'll get a little bit. And I'll show you how we can enhance getting that smoke flavor in there a little bit more. We'll take our knife and we'll score it, which you'll do this anyway, but I'm going to score it a little bit deeper. Score it one way and then just turn it. We're just going to do that same thing. Now, we're only going to do it to one side because we're going to put it in a little aluminum tray. Now, what we're gonna do, I don't know why I'm still wearing these gloves, I just didn't take them off. I got this Meat Church Honey Hog Barbecue seasoning. I really like the Meat Church seasonings. This one's very sweet, hence the name Honey Hog. And I'm just gonna sprinkle this, and I'm gonna try to kind of bend it up to try to get that in there. And we're actually gonna add more after it smokes, but we're just gonna coat this for now. Now the problem with doing this is that it's gonna make this cream cheese kind of since we're smoking at 275, it's gonna make it kind of ugly. That's okay, because it's gonna go in here and we're gonna add more things to this cream cheese in a little bit. So I just put a little bit on there. Once again, make sure those slits are kind of setting open. We're gonna make a little boat, and we're gonna put that along with the jalapenos out there in just a second. We're about to take off our jalapenos and our cream cheese that we're smoking. I told you we're gonna put some extra stuff in there, starting with some sausage. We're not gonna do this whole thing. We're actually gonna do not too much of it, but I'm just gonna go ahead and cut into it. Not quite half, a little, what is that, about a third? We're gonna go for about a third here. And we're just gonna, it's not gonna be too much. We don't wanna like overdo it with the sausage, but I do want a little bit of a hearty bite in there of that sausage, along with the other flavors. We're not gonna add too many flavors, but this will be enough sausage just to really fill up these peppers and give it a good little hearty bite, just a little extra something. It's gonna be wrapped in bacon, have some sausage on the inside. Oh, it's gonna be so good. So let's fry this up. And we're not gonna go too crazy with this. We're just gonna get this kind of fried up, mashed up, fried up, mashed up. We're just gonna cook this up just like that. We'll give it a minute. There's gonna be a lot going on with this step. I pulled out the jalapenos and the cream cheese. This cream cheese came out better than I thought it would. Usually it gets kind of dark on the top, but I didn't put as much seasoning on it, so maybe that's why I didn't, but it was so good. I had to dip in there with a cracker. Oh, it was good. And so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut these, and then I'm gonna show you how we make our cream cheese mixture with the sausage that goes in them. But let's go ahead and, I'm debating on whether or not to cut these actually. I don't think I am. We're not gonna cut these, we're gonna stuff them whole. That's what we're gonna do. So instead of cutting these like I thought we would do originally, we're just gonna stuff them like they are. These are smoked really nice. They're all wrinkly, which is kind of the way you want them. And don't worry about the ones like this. You may think, oh man, the stuff's all gonna fall out the end. We're gonna wrap it with bacon in a way that it won't. And we'll use some toothpicks. But right now, we're gonna make this cream cheese mixture. I'm not gonna start with all the cream cheese, mainly because it tasted so good. I just really kind of want some as like a, cracker cream cheese treat. So that's hot though, I'll tell you that much. Ow, we'll put, we need to do a little bit more than half. We'll put about 3/4 of the cream cheese in to start off with. And we're gonna add some sharp cheddar, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, okay? You might be thinking I'm crazy, just trust me. A little bit of Worcestershire sauce, some more of that Honey Hog seasoning, that's hot, and the sausage. If you cook sausage on a cast iron skillet, don't grab the handle. That was really painful. So let's go ahead and put the sausage in there first. I'm just gonna dump it all in. See how it does. So we got that. We need something to stir it with. This will work good because this will help us to kind of make sure we get all that cream cheese. Okay, you can use a spoon or whatever, but you're gonna add that much of that. Just kind of go to taste. Okay, figure out what you like. I like a lot of flavor, so I'll probably add a little bit more seasoning in a minute. And I'm adding probably about just a capful. I should have just measured it out, but about a capful of Worcestershire sauce. Then we're gonna get this sharp cheddar in there. That was 2 handfuls, but I got small hands, so maybe 1 handful and a half for normal people. And then we're just gonna stir it around, mix it up, okay? And this is gonna, make sure you mix it good because that Worcestershire sauce is in there, so you gotta kinda smash it around and just, you know, really get that and the seasoning to flow around in there. I'm actually gonna add a little bit more sharp cheddar right now. That's about a half a handful, and I'm gonna add a little bit more of this too. So I'm not gonna go too, that's as much as I'm gonna add. That might be a little bit much because we're also gonna put that on the outside of the bacon because it's just so good. And you know, while this sausage and jalapenos will kind of add a little bit of a kick, and then the bacon and the sausage and the cheese will add that heartiness. This on top of that bacon at the end, oh man, it'll add some nice sweet to kind of balance all the flavors together. And there is what we're needing. That's probably more than enough, but we'll go with that. I'm hoping to save that little bit for some crackers later. I would eat this on a cracker right now, but we're gonna stuff these jalapenos in a second. All right, now we're gonna stuff these jalapenos. I got this little baby spoon here, which actually is still a little too wide. We might use a combination of the spoon and the fork. I mean the knife. Yeah, we're just gonna go for the knife. The knife's gonna be easier. You just wanna shove all of that goodness down in there. And we're gonna pack this thing pretty full. I mean, we're gonna pack it as full as it can be. And you can kind of, at this point, the jalapenos aren't, you know, real rigid like they were before since they've been smoked. They've kind of lost their integrity and their structural integrity, that is. They're still outstanding citizens, but they, you can feel kind of where you're missing and how much more you can put in there. And I'm telling you, we're gonna stuff them. We're just gonna pack these things full. I could eat this just like this, but it's gonna be so much better with the bacon on it. So if you want good things, sometimes you just gotta wait. So right now, 1 down, a couple more to go, and then we're gonna put bacon on it. Now is the moment you've all been waiting for. It's the moment for bacon. We're gonna start by grabbing, oh no, what just happened? We're gonna start by grabbing enough toothpicks, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We're gonna grab 10-ish toothpicks. Actually, I'm gonna grab more than that because I'll probably need more. I'm gonna grab this many, okay? And I'll deal with this. All right, now we're gonna open up this bacon and we're gonna use a whole piece of bacon. We're gonna lay the bacon out just like this, and we're gonna use the whole piece, but actually we're gonna use a half a piece, and here's how. We're gonna roll it out. These are the ones that are hollow on both ends, okay? So put it down. You're gonna kind of tuck it like that, okay? Just like that, and then down. We're gonna cut the bacon right there. Once again, make sure your knives are sharp. And you wanna wrap it pretty tight. Try to wrap it as tight as you can. Get the bacon to overlap itself. Then, we're gonna go back the other way with it and cover up the rest of that green. And you know what? We don't even need a toothpick for that. We're gonna lay that right on the tray. Make sure it's down on the side that has the bacon, and we'll continue the process. right, make sure you clean your hands, or at least get a clean hand. And then some of these, I used a whole piece of bacon. Some of these I was able to use half. Just depends on how big your jalapenos are, and just use your own discretion. I actually would prefer to only use half because I don't like it to be just bacony tasting. I mean, that's a lot of bacon, but it'll still be good. So now we're gonna just coat this bacon with this honey hog seasoning just all over. And what this is gonna do, it's gonna give it a nice little caramelized texture at the end of the bake, or the smoke. And it's just gonna make it that much better. I'll give that sweet touch. I'm doing this on a cutting board so I can actually roll it around in what fell off to kind of save it, because I'm almost out. And these are good. They're $10, I think, at Academy Sports. I don't know if they sell them anywhere else. I mean, online they do, but it's worth $10 for sure. It's so good. But this is my last one of this one, so I'm trying to save it. All right. Some of these I did end up putting toothpicks in, just because, like the ones with the half bacon, the half piece of bacon, I did put toothpicks in just to make sure that it holds it real well. You don't want your bacon falling off in the middle of the whole deal, and then all your cream cheese comes out the end and makes a big mess everywhere in your smoker. And so you can see this one, I didn't, you know, you can see how I covered it. It's not completely covered with bacon. I kind of like it that way though. I mean, I like it that way more, but you do what you want to do. I'm just gonna rub this around down here, a little on top. Bottom's coated, top is coated. This is a big one. This was a whole piece of bacon for sure. And I did still put a toothpick in it just to make sure it holds. One thing I didn't mention earlier, but you've seen me working on this open countertop with these raw meats a lot, and then the cream cheese, cream cheese and everything else, the jalapenos. Just make sure you clean your countertop good if you're gonna do what I'm doing. If you're gonna cook multiple things, and different types of meat, you want a good, clean surface. You don't want any cross-contamination happening. You don't want to make yourself sick when you're making all this delicious food and you're spending all day doing it, do you? No. So just be smart, clean it, use good cleaners. Don't use stuff that's going to make you sick. Like don't use bleach, don't use anything like that. Soap and water, a little bit of some kind of antibacterial spray, and then more soap and water will do the trick. And then let it dry. We are ready once again to go back to the smoker. I'm going to space these out a little bit. Nothing's going to share the rack with this, but I am going to, what's a little bit more meaty, I'm going to put towards the back of the smoker, because the back of the smoker tends to get a little bit hotter. And so if it's got a little bit more bacon on it, it's going to go to the back, toward the back more than these other ones. And I'm going to kind of turn some of them sideways so they just don't have a chance of really slipping down the cracks of the rack. And it's not beautiful, but that'll work. All right, once again, these are going in the smoker at 275. I got some ribs cooking in there right now, so we're not going to change the temperature. These are going to go in there. I'm going to guess about 3 hours, but we'll see. We'll time it out. These should actually be getting done right about the time that my ribs get done. So this is going to be perfect. I can eat all this together, and it's going to be great. We're going to check on the jalapeno poppers here. Oh, man. They are done. Look at that. Oh, it looks so good. Yeah, I'm pulling those out. Oh, yeah. Oh, take a look at this. It looks so good. They're piping hot right now. I gotta let them rest, but man, they look good. They turned out beautiful. They were in there for about an hour and a half, not even 2 hours. I mean, they cooked fast at 275. They cooked really fast at 275, and but they're done, nice and crispy. Ignore the TV on in the background and the screaming child. My wife went to Lowe's about 2 hours ago and I haven't heard from her since. It's a little backwards. I should be the one going to Lowe's. Anyway, so these are going with our dinner tonight. I want to eat one right now for you. They're just too hot. But make these. I'll eat one in a bit and you'll see. You will see, along with the rest of the food, how good these actually are. All right, we got the jalapeno popper here. You can dip it in ranch. You can eat it just like this. That's what I'm gonna do.
No, that you did it with your hand.
It's good. It's real good. Get a little hearty with that sausage, the bacon, a little spice, the Worcestershire sauce. Can't even taste it, but it's a nice touch. I know it is. That cheese difference and the candy coating on the outside, it all works together so good. You gotta make these.